Powered by Riverside FM.
The Minnesota Timberwolves lose game 2 to the Lakers. And I give the Lakers a lot of credit. I give J.J. Redick a lot of credit for the adjustments. Doesn't make me concerned. I am where I was after game 1. I guess I could say there's a little bit of concern, but I guess I would say, UP Nation, that I'm not worried about this is the end of the Minnesota Timberwolves run and now the Lakers are just going to run away with this thing. I think what the Lakers have done, because they know they can't score. Keep in mind that the Minnesota Timberwolves held them under 100 points again with two of the best players in the world in terms of Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Under 100 points. And the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't even play well. So this is not a skewed view. It's just a realistic view. Again, you know, this is kind of my industry. I love basketball. I know basketball. So here's some of the things that I observed last night. I thought the Los Angeles Lakers were the tougher team last night. They played bully ball. And you can tell that J.J. Redick over the last couple of days has just embedded in the Lakers' mind and probably challenged their manhood a little bit in terms of being physical out on the floor. They were basically bullying the T-Wolves. And they wanted to send a statement. They wanted to see, okay, you guys got some talented basketball players on your team, but who's the dogs on this team? Who's the dogs on this team? Now, let me tell you this. This is not saying anybody on the Timberwolves is not a dog. And this is not saying, there are people that aren't dogs. I'm just saying the guy that showed up last night as a dog is Julius Randle. If there was anything that we got for the Karl Anthony Towns trade in terms of him for Julius Randle, is that we've got a little bit of toughness. We've got it mentally and we've got it physically. Julius Randle, excuse the grammar, but Julius Randle ain't going to back down from anybody. You could see it last night when they were trying to crowd his space, when they were trying to punk him, when they were trying to be physical with him. How did Julius Randle answer? He answered every single call. He was made for that game. And I guess if there was a bright spot in terms of that trade, man, Julius Randle, when it gets tough and there are obstacles and you have to go through the wars, as the Minnesota Timberwolves did last night, man, Julius Randle is not going to play around. Julius Randle was going to come with it. And I'm not even talking about the amount of points that he scored. I'm just talking about his willingness to go to the basket, his willingness to defend, and his willingness to scrum it up. Now, everybody else, they've got to find that alpha in them. And I'm talking about mental toughness alpha. This is not about talent. Listen, Anthony Edwards is an extreme talent. But here's the burden that I put on Anthony Edwards, man, because I wasn't the one last year that was comparing him to be in the face of the league. I wasn't the guy that was saying that he could be the next great thing since Michael Jordan. I wasn't the guy that was comparing him to Kobe Bryant. So when you're going to start throwing these labels out there, man, there is a level of freaking expectations that you have to adhere to. Here's my message to Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, if you're going to be that, if you're going to be compared to that, if you're going to be in that elite conversation, there is no going away. There is no dry spells. There is no not showing up. You've got to be there for every minute of the game. And when everybody else goes dry, whether it's Naz Reid or Connolly or Rudy Gobert or Julius Randle or McDaniel. I mean, listen, man, you are Anthony Edwards. You is that dude. And so you can't go away. If I was his coach, that would be my message. Like, there can't be a time other than when you're on the bench getting some R&R. Dude, you can't go away at all. That's the burden of being great. On the flip side of it, Luka Doncic has been in that conversation for years. Has Luka Doncic gone away yet? I want you to think about the Dallas Mavericks series last year. And I want you to think about the 2 games in the series this year with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Has Luka Doncic shown any signs of going away? And I don't believe he's 100% healthy. And I don't believe that he is 100% in great shape. But he gives it to you every time he's on the floor. Whether it's going after McDaniels on the defensive end or getting switched off against Rudy Gobert, man, he thrives when Rudy Gobert gets switched off on him. I mean, he is hunting and looking for that switch with Rudy Gobert. If I'm Finchie, I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. So that is the level that Anthony Edwards has to be at, UP Nation. That is just my opinion. And then Finchie's going to have to do something with Tim Connelly and Rudy Gobert, man. You can't have those 2 guys playing the amount of minutes and not giving you anything. People make so many excuses for Rudy Gobert, man. They make so many excuses. It's funny how the human mind works. This is why sports psychologists make so much money, because there are analysts that will be dog ass on somebody like a Karl Anthony Towns, who it's not even in the same stratosphere. In the playoffs, Karl Anthony Towns has been way more productive than Rudy Gobert in his playoff experience. But if you were to listen to some of these people talk, you would think that Karl Anthony Towns, although he has not been great in the playoffs, is absolutely trash compared to a guy like Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, man, you just know when he plays, he ain't going to give you nothing. So people that support him try to hide him around these analytics. Well, when he's on the floor, this team is plus minus with this combination of players. Man, come on, man. Rudy Gobert, again, can he just break through stat-wise? Can we just forget about the analytics for once? And let's just focus on bare bones basketball like we did 30, 40 years ago, and just take the analytics out of it and just give it the eye test. What is Rudy Gobert giving us? I will say it again. What is Rudy Gobert giving us? What is Tim Connelly giving us? Where you have to play Tim and Rudy Gobert so much, that is a mistake. I think it hurts the Timberwolves. If you are not going to get production out of those 2 on either side of the court, defensively and offensively, you just can't play them. You've got young energy on the bench. Shannon Jr. came out last night, played about 5 to 7 minutes, and instant energy, instant competitiveness. I don't know why Finchie doesn't play him more. You know, I know he likes inexperienced guys in the playoffs, man, but your inexperienced guys in terms of Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert, it's not getting you anything. It's not getting you anything. Rudy Gobert is going to start and play Friday night. I guarantee you, UP Nation, this may not age well, but hit me back if I'm wrong. Rudy Gobert is not going to get you double-digit boards, and he's not going to get you double-digit points. He's not going to get he will struggle to get about 5 rebounds in the games and struggle to give you about 6 points in the game. And he's making tons of dollars. And yet, you are basically splitting time with him and Naz Reid. What for? What for, UP Nation? So I'm not concerned. Some minor adjustments that the Minnesota Timberwolves have to make. Like, they got to find that dog for game 3, which I believe they will, because the Los Angeles Lakers brought it in terms of their aggressiveness, their intensity on defense, their pressure. They want to find out who are the alphas on the Minnesota Timberwolves team. That was the difference in the game. And the Minnesota Timberwolves still competed with them. I mean, at one point, the Lakers had, a 25, 26-point lead. Minnesota Timberwolves clamped down on defense, walked them down again. With all that star power that the Los Angeles Lakers have with Luka and LeBron, again, the Minnesota Timberwolves held them to 100 points, under 100 points. So now, the Minnesota Timberwolves just have to find a way to get the right combinations of guys on the floor that are going to compete, that won't be punked, and that can score. And again, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win this series. What do you think? Put your thoughts in the comments about what's going to happen with Game 3, your perspective on Game 2. UP Nation, we're going to continue to cover the Minnesota Timberwolves playoff run. That's what we do at Unconventional Playbook, along with the Minnesota Vikings draft coming up tomorrow night. This has been Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we will make sure, UP Nation, to see you when we see you.